Good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome to the Fantasy Forecast for Thursday, May 12th, 2016. I don't even need a phone. I don't need any prompters. I need nothing in front of me. It's an interesting day today, guys. It's just, it's a two-game slate, so we're getting to where it's going to be two-game slates. They'll do one game a night, and just because we're getting just so short, if we get two on one night, it'll be like a joy and a blessing. I think we have maybe two or three more of those coming up, and by the time we start getting the finals, and they'll pair one final game up with one final game the next night, and you know how it goes. And once we get to the actual finals themselves, and so that's it. It's getting close, guys. It's been a nice run. We won on the night before, not last night's video, but the night before. We won cash on that one last night, and I was even telling you guys, trying to go light and everything. I was really due for it to not hit. I don't know why I had a feeling there was something just off with my projections itself. But the beauty of it is I give you guys other ones. So if you went with Daily Fantasy Nerd, he hit over 304. And, and I only gave you 3 projections yesterday because I know the better people to go with, when you do projections. So there's your 304 lineup that I did give you yesterday. And it wasn't mine, but it was a projection. So you could see it and you knew it. And if you know your competition and you're just looking at this and you're like, oh, well, this is also, like Golden State, Portland, Portland, and you're like, well, Toronto is, DeRozan, Patterson, and so it wasn't hard to really yank this one out of my picks there, because I'm trying to be more selective about the optimal lineups too if I don't have as much time. I have to. I don't want to waste your guys' time. It's not worth it. I mean, the shorter videos are better, and they give you guys the more opportunity to go on and get on with your lives and know what the fuck to do. And anyways, so I pulled yesterday, or at 510. Yeah, it's 510. It was a 281, but that was enough for cash. It wasn't, so it was good. Curry, Lillard, Wade, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it was all decent. It just wasn't decent enough because you could have done better. Draymond Green was disappointing, regardless. And then you have 5-9, which was a really good one. That was 313. That was easy. That's about it. I don't see anything really outstanding otherwise. So there you have that. You get a 145 on baseball yesterday that I showed you guys, which was enough even without Eichhoff. Eichhoff with 10 points. Scherzer at the top. I'm sure this guy had him. No. Who had Scherzer? Someone had him. Come on. To bump. Yeah, there you go. 93 points, guys. Look at that on baseball. There's certain times with baseball you wonder. Only 5% owned in this league, too. That's kind of just funny because I think in the actual big cash leagues and everything else, he was like 38% owned. So these free ones must just be testing grounds for people. Anyways, let's move on. Let's get to today, where it's paid. Alright, your optimal lineup for NBA for today. We're going to take Russell Westbrook at the point guard. We're going to take Tony Parker at the other point guard. And this fits perfect. It's a $0 remaining. I don't know how it happened to fit perfect, but as I was just going along, I saw it fitting, and I'm like, wow. Because I kind of like to grab the person that I think is going to do well in terms of a stud, and then try to grab like a good mid-range to even minimum priced value that people may or may not think about, and there's a reason why I'm grabbing them. They're going to get minutes, there's going to be time, and this leads me to the relevant question I said I would answer in the Q&As while I get onto my lineup here. Let's go back onto that. On my notification. If Whiteside and Deng are out, could Stoudemire, Haslam, McRoberts, or Winslow be a potential cheap sleeper? The term sleeper is weird. It's interesting you would use that term. See, if my video is onto one of those guys and you guys are kind of onto them, that's kind of where they're no longer a sleeper, right? I don't know how to explain that. You have to figure out which pick of those guys will suddenly get some minutes for some reason, and no one else would be on him for some very particular reason. And I do agree with you, Sean. And by the way, thank you for the question. I and I got mad props for all my supporters out there too, guys. I love you all. Whiteside and Deng being out. Whiteside out for sure. Deng is game time decision, but he may be out too. Yes, I agree with you. And if he's out, someone's going to pick up those minutes because he's had a huge chunk of them. I'm probably going to go with the guy that's minimum priced on FanDuel already for that team, remembering that Toronto can try to close them out tonight. And I don't think they will. In the same way I said last night, and even in the comments, do you think Miami can do better? And I'm like, well, I think Toronto's going to win tonight. Home court matters. I think home court matters again here. I think the Heat will come home and they're going to be just a little tired after having to drag their asses down there again. This has got to be telling on Toronto. I mean, Miami's, well, I guess it's for any NBA team, it really does just dragging you back and forth, especially for the Game 5, Game 6, Game 7, 1-1-1s. But there's no other way to say that home court will invigorate and encourage players. I don't have any other way to say it. You guys have been there if you're fans. You support them, you root them on, and you boo the other guys. They hear it loud and clear to the point where refs don't even call it sometimes because they're riding with the damn crowd. There's 20,000 people that are going to boo them and rip them apart, and refs are pretty good at still keeping their cool, and I have to respect pretty much all sports for doing that. I mean, they go against both teams kind of equally against the board and with a lot of, but we've all seen a lot of controversial calls. We all know a lot of controversial non-calls, and so all that matters, and because Vegas examines this the way statistical people do, and we figure it all out, and we know it figures to favor the home court. That's all it comes down to. Okay? So when you have a San Antonio triple stack as your recommended cash lineup, you're a little contrarian. So hear me out, guys. All we have left right now, but this is Pop's last stand when you think about it, because like I said, home court matters. And they might have San Antonio and Oklahoma City paired up, but you got Durant and you got Westbrook running against those guys, and those two can probably beat them by themselves if they can get past Kawhi Leonard. And it's looking like they're going to be able to. It's just that's just how this is working out. And at this point, I've even got Westbrook and Durant in the lineup. I think that Oklahoma is going to win and beat them. And this is a versus a narrative, everything else of old styles versus new. Can you win it that way? Can you not? And everything else. But I don't even think it's going to be close, guys. That's where everyone else is like. I would normally say something like this game is probably going to be, if I had to guess, and this is me just thinking on my normal lines, 98 to 92, the Spurs. Or not the Spurs, sorry, OKC. A 98 to 92 win. But instead, I'm going to say it's going to be 120 to 101. OKC. Right around there. Not kidding. I don't know where the over-under is on it tonight. I haven't even looked yet. I don't need to. Don't care. Don't give a crap. To me, when you do a 2-game slate over 2 days and it's 1 game for each day, you just want to get the best scoring you can on each day. I don't really care. I know that the Toronto-Miami game is slow, and I know I've got much more chance in terms of what it can possibly be on the other side there, that OKC just rips them apart. They're up to this point. They will close them out at home. They know they'd have to go back to San Antonio if they don't, and their fans will be with them tonight. And I think that you will see them just San Antonio utterly implode. The problem is San Antonio is aging too much. They really are. And I got Parker in there because I think Parker will be an offensive force tonight. I think he'll have like 35 fantasy points trying to keep him in it. I think Danny Green will be keeping him in it, and his price has risen. And I think Aldridge is the only chance they've got to like try to score and get something done. And he will find some. But Kwame, and that's the thing. Kwame is defensive, but Kwame needs to put his points down. And if they smother him, and that's why I don't have Kwame in the lineup, and that's what kind of way I'm projecting the game narrative to go today. I would have to just say that you're going to have to want Aldridge today and not Leonard, and that's my opinion. And it makes it cheaper and easy and a perfect fit, like I was saying before, to grab Patterson, who's getting minutes with Toronto. Now, Toronto can close out Miami, but Patterson's getting minutes either way, whether they're in a closeout mode or not. So, this is a good punt right there to stick Steven Adams in with the OKC win. And he's going to see time along with Enes Kanter. That seems like that's the main lineup they're almost going with. They're pairing them together at this point to try to rip them apart, and it's working. So you got Steven Adams for your center, and you got, I'll go again, your optimal lineup for today. Westbrook and Parker at point guard, Wade and Green at shot guard, Durant and Winslow at small forward, Aldridge and Patterson at power forward, and center is Steven Adams. And let's go into DraftKings. Okay, guys, in DraftKings is a similar strategy, but the pricing is different, so you have to work around it a little bit. But it's Westbrook again at point guard, Danny Green for shot guard, which is actually very similar, which is kind of cool. Kevin Durant for your small forward, Aldridge for your power forward. Yeah, it fits. Enes Kanter for your center. He's going to be paired along with Steven Adams. I think Adams is going to do better in points, but you just can't get him to fit. But you do get Tony Parker, who I think is a great price, especially in comparison with FanDuel and the way they're so tight on DraftKings. And you got Justice Winslow, basically the same price, which is good, and because he's going to see more minutes, I think, with the win. In response to Sean right there, take the guaranteed minutes that you know are going to see a little bit more. It's not a matter of minutes now with Justin Winslow. It's a matter of that he might be shifted in position and see more production. I think that's what's more likely to happen. Instead of Justice Winslow being a drag on your lineup at 12 to 15 fantasy points for 3,500 on both sites, guys, apparently, I think we're going to see him, put up a nice, 25 to 30 on this site, and 35 on, or 30 on the other one, or 25. Yeah, it's similar numbers, but really above expectations tonight. I don't know why. I've just got that feeling. Someone's going to have to keep Miami in it. It cannot be done by Dwayne Wade alone. And I like to have Wade in this lineup, and you got Patty Mills in there for San Antonio when they do give up, and they will need some rest time anyways, and Patty's seen some time in all of the games regardless, all the way through. So at 2,700 to fit this whole lineup, I'm happy to take it on DraftKings and hope for a score around the 265, 270 level or so, which should be definitely enough for cash, if not more. Okay, guys, that's Fantasy Forecast for today. I'm going to go back on FanDuel so you guys can fast forward ahead if you want to. NBA yesterday, or MLB, like I said, it was in beta mode. Today is just NBA. Sorry about that, guys, but it's where we stand for the moment. I'm trying to work on it to exact it, but didn't come through on the bottom slate, and I'm still working a little bit with different numbers, and I need some time to perfect these models. I won't give you guys a lineup that I don't feel confident about. And that's why this one is actually in cash itself, because there aren't any more free contests I can just run them in. So, I'll put $1 down and I'll run it. And the only reason why I haven't been is because I had a GoFundMe campaign. You guys can see it in the videos. It's raising money for my daughter. To all you guys that have contributed, special shout outs to Steven, to Sean, to all my DFS contributors that have hooked up, my daughter on this little trip. And I've never asked for money before, and I don't really. The way I'm considering this is it's a donation. If you like my show, guys, thank you so much, and I appreciate all the love and compassion, and really, I want all the best for you guys, and I just want you guys to go out there and go win some money and beat all the damn sharks. It's tough to do. Sleepers is the question that Sean was asking or was about, and I'll end the video on that, guys. Picking sleepers today is picking sleepers every day is what wins you your. And I think Justice Winslow will sleep a little. I don't think there's a lot of subscribers on this channel yet. Patrick Patterson could be the sleeper as well. Aldridge isn't a sleeper. Adams isn't a sleeper. Durant isn't a sleeper. Wade isn't a sleeper. Parker's not a sleeper. So, but yes, a Miami person. And the thing is, though, you have to be thinking people are going to target some Miami guy. What if Toronto wins? To me, honestly, guys, if you look at this lineup, it's not even Justice Winslow so much as because I think he's still minimum priced and people are just keep forgetting because he keeps turning in low stat numbers for good minutes and they're like, forget that. And I think he's going to turn you in great numbers tonight as they shift around positions with the injury. That's the unforgotten part. That's one there. And then the other section on power forward there is Toronto can win the game. I do think Miami will win, but Toronto could win, guys. They could frickin' send him home. And I'm telling you, that's why I'm calling this fantasy forecast. And these are individual games. Don't forget it. When your horses run, when I predict the Preakness for you guys the night before, and you know, so you can put your tickets in, whatever. I'll have everything for you guys for that. It's not going to be a big deal. We already know Nyquist is going to win. It's just a question of who's running up second and third for your trifectas, right? So, irrespective. Moving on from that, let's see. Yeah, let's just run through today's lineup once more and wish you guys a good, happy day. Westbrook and Parker at your point guard, Wade and Green shot guard, Durant and Winslow for small forward, Aldridge and Patterson for power forward, and Adams for your center. All right, guys, going out there, please go win some big money. Have a good day. I hope you guys all have been winning this week. I hope you guys took my line a couple nights before and played it light last night, and everything's worked out just fine. And all right, have a wonderful day. Go win some money. Bye-bye.